Good morning. This is the Citrus County Planning and Development Commission public hearing for November 3rd, 2022. If you'd like to join us at this time, I invite you to please stand for the invocation, remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Lord, please give us the grace to be understanding, patient, and tolerant. With these attributes, we can conduct our work in a manner which will be pleasing to Thee, our county, and its residents. In the Lord's name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could have the roll call, please. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
The following Planning and Development Commission members are present this morning. Robert Bass, Chair. Stacy Worthington, First Vice Chair. James Royce, Second Vice Chair. Richard Barnes. David Bramblett. Michael Facemeyer. Kurt Stone. And School Board Representative Chuck Dixon.
Thank you. If any person decides to appeal any decision made by the Commission with respect to any matter considered at this hearing, he or she will need a record of the proceedings, and for such purpose, he or she may need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made, which record includes testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. During public input portions of the meeting, individuals are given 3 minutes, representatives of organizations are given 5 minutes. When anyone wishing to speak comes to the podium, please complete a yellow form to hand to the recording secretary. Please print your name, address, and the number of the application for which you are speaking on the form. The yellow forms can be found at the podium by the door. If representing an organization, a letter of authorization must accompany the speaker. Comments will be limited to the topic being heard. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give your address for the taped record. At this time, we have an opportunity anyone has an opportunity to come forward and address the Commission on any issues that you may wish. Please note that application AA-22-06 has been withdrawn. Seeing none, we'll move on to minutes. If there are no minutes, staff announcements.
No, you stole my thunder on the application that was withdrawn. That's great. Thank you. No staff announcements.
You're quite welcome.
And I'll go on to ex parte communication, if I may, in the absence of the county attorney. Does any board member have any ex parte communication for Atlas Amendment AA 2205? We'll start with Mr. Stone.
None.
Site visit?
None.
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 Site visit?
None.
Thank you.
Thank you. If we could have an introduction on our application AA 22-5 by staff.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
AA 2205 is a request to change the designation of 2 lots from medical to recreational on the Citrus Springs Unit 4 Master Plan. This is an aerial view of the subject properties. This is a view of the subject properties along West Country Club Boulevard, looking towards North Deltona Boulevard. This is looking north on North Deltona Boulevard. This is looking south on North Deltona Boulevard. This is looking east on West Country Club Boulevard. This is looking west on West Country Club Boulevard. And this is the conceptual site plan submitted by the applicant. Thank you.
Thank you. If the applicant would like to come forward and make your presentation.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for your time this morning. I'm Amy Barbari. I submitted the request to change this property from commercial medical to commercial recreational, as it was stated, in hope of building a youth recreation center that includes indoor basketball and volleyball courts. We need more indoor courts and recreational facilities for the kids in our communities and their families. This has been a dream of mine for some time. I grew up here, so did my husband, and now our 2 children do as well. My parents, my parents-in-law are Citrus County residents too. I didn't play sports in elementary school. I was sick with asthma and other ailments. Didn't really see myself as an athlete, but as time went on, the asthma got better. Joined band, built up the lungs. One random day, I just went to an after-school basketball clinic. and I'm glad I did. It was for basketball for me was love at first sight. In no time, I was training before, during, and after school year round. It's just, to me, it is a beautiful game. It's teamwork, strategy. I love it more than most things. Players aren't all naturally athletic, case in point, but they can overcome and be competitive by studying the game and putting in the time and putting team over self. While my time with basketball was brief due to injury, I cherish the time on the court and what it taught me about myself, my teammates, my coaches, and community. It helped with self-esteem, knowing I could do something unexpected and learning how to push myself and better respect myself. Here with me, kind of my partner in this dream, is Thomas Velardi. He also grew up here and loves basketball. He is a middle school PE coach and middle and high school basketball coach and golf coach, and he is the co-founder of BLA, Beyond Limits Athletics. It's a local organization providing personal training, multi-sport group workouts, youth and adult leagues, travel ball opportunities, speed and agility training, summer camps, and help for high school seniors trying to get recruited for college sports. In a short time, Thomas and the BLA staff have brought hundreds of Citrus County residents and families together, helping kids of all ages and abilities and means and backgrounds. Last year alone, they helped 16 of their kids that they were training go on to play college sports. They also have nationally ranked travel teams, and they did this all without a home gym. Thomas would train kids at parks, local schools, a key training center when available, and a few years ago, a church became available that had a gym. That church is no longer available, and so we're here today to try to get a little closer to this dream of building the facility. The facility that we're proposing would have 2 full court basketball courts that can also be transitioned to 4 volleyball courts. Thomas's dad, Frank Velardi, I've known for over 25 years. He is the high school head basketball coach and elementary school PE teacher for 30 years. And he has the same passion and heart for basketball and helps with BLA all the time. Both of them care and support their players and students on and off in the court. When one of their players or students goes into the hospital, our son was in the hospital a lot in 4th grade. They were the first ones there seeing if they could come and visit him. My son also broke his jaw last summer. It's a little accident prone. And they were continuously checking on him. And not just on his pain or when he could play again, but his spirits and emotional well-being. My daughter, when she first attended basketball camp, she was just started playing, was in 1st grade. She was very nervous. She was one of the only girls, was very young, didn't want me to leave, and they were over there getting her to pass the ball back and forth with another girl, and she hasn't stopped playing basketball since. Thomas talks to his players after every workout and every practice, what they did well, what they can improve on. He commends them on being there on a Friday night when there's certainly other options available on their social calendar. He asks them, are you sitting in the front row in classes? Are you thanking your teachers? Are you picking up trash? When you see it on the ground, him and his dad, they're not just about being a better basketball player, but a better student, friend, citizen, family member, and volunteer. I've had the opportunity of meeting and working with a lot of great basketball coaches over the years. There are different coaching styles and ways to approach this game, but Thomas and Frank, their dedication, drive, basketball IQ, passion for the game, and compassion for players is among the very best. Thomas is competitive, self-motivated, disciplined, and always seeking progress, improvement, new drills, and plays. He teaches the importance of teamwork, believing in yourself and each other, physical and mental discipline, learning from your losses, perseverance, and I just think it would be great for him to have his own gym. This gym would be BLA's home, but it would also be open to other organizations in the area. We've talked to Citrus Fusion Volleyball. We would have it open to trainers. Word has kind of gotten around. We've only told a few people, but there's a demand, so the word is spread. And we've been approached by yoga teachers, dance instructors, lots of people needing indoor spaces when it's raining or hot or late at night. We have been suggested to have batting cages and indoor pickleball, and that time will come. That would be a good problem to have if we're given the opportunity. We certainly will listen and adapt to the demand in the future if given the chance. Years ago, my dad was my road warrior. There were no local travel basketball teams available for me, and so we were traveling to Tampa several nights a week. We're hoping that with this, families won't have to do that. But yeah, he's still around, and he is still going to practices when he can and watching his grandkids in the games. And after a particularly inspiring workout, when Thomas was talking to the kids, we just looked at each other and said that we need to build a gym for Thomas. So my husband and I, we are selling our house. We are downsizing. We're using the proceeds and personal savings because we believe in this facility so much. I feel maternal towards Citrus County. I want it to do well. I want it to improve. I want the kids here to have the same opportunities that they have in bigger areas. This facility would be another place for communities to connect and serve as a sanctuary for local kids, a place where they feel safe, supported, and encouraged. A vote in favor of this amendment takes one step closer to making the dream a reality. While we're not proposing a facility in the current master plan, like medical office, for example, if approved, when we open our doors, we will no doubt be helping the physical and mental health of kids in our community. Just to conclude the portion of our presentation, I'm just going to have Thomas say a few words on the benefits and vision for the center. So, thank you.
Good morning. Amy introduced me, and my name is Thomas Velardi. I've been a member, I've lived in Citrus Springs my entire life. My parents both lived in Citrus Springs their entire lives. My dad's been there for 50 years. Both of my parents have taught at the elementary school for 30 years. I currently teach at Citrus Springs Middle School. I live in Citrus Springs with my fiance, and we plan on our kids growing up there. So it's home. It's where I've grown up, and it's where I will be. And we want to do everything we can to make it better for not only the people of Citrus Springs and the children, but everybody. We want it to benefit everybody of all ages. We want to host programs and let businesses partner with us. We want to let programs use the facility. We want to let kids have a safe place to come after school on the weekends and have something to do, make friends. I feel like there's a high demand for something like this. Amy and I've known them my entire life. They're pretty much family. And, we share the same vision of having this being built. I grew up playing at the parks. I grew up, my friends and I would get up on 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and we'd be at the Citrus Springs Park from 7 in the morning till there was no more sun. And it was great growing up. But nowadays that, you drive by and there's less and less kids, there's less and less people out there, it's just not as safe. I feel like an opportunity like this provides kids a safe place where they can make relationships with each other. They can build relationships with responsible adults, volunteers in the community, and we can help them, get better grades, become better athletes, become better people. We always tell our players we want them to be good people, good students, good athletes in that order. And we feel like this just continues to build that foundation that we set with all of our children that we work with, whether they're athletes or not, to go forward. Just to give you a couple numbers of some things that we've done here in the last couple of years with BLA, our last of the league had over 400 kids playing in it. Our last camps that we ran 3 2 summers ago. We had over 300 kids attend those camps. We have sent currently 32 athletes on full scholarships, getting their education paid for, playing the sport that they love in college, all from Citrus County. And that's something that's what this vision was started upon. We want kids from Citrus County to be able to be determined. We want them to work hard. We want them to get their education paid for. We want them to do what they love and be able to go on and be outstanding members of the community. We want them to come back and volunteer their time and continue to help the next generation of students and athletes. And I feel like this facility would continue to do that, and not only continue to do that, but would help us do that on a much bigger scale. I would like to do more than just with the kids. I would like to work with adults as well during the day. Kids are in school. We want to do pickleball. We want to do classes. We want to rent the space out to other organizations that can have the opportunity to come in and grow their passion as well. So I just think that there's a demand for this in Citrus Springs, and I think it would be a great thing. Thank you so much.
Any questions from staff?
Please. Thank you. What a wonderful project. It sounds really positive. I appreciate that. Staff had one concern about the buffer on the south line. I think it probably was just an oversight on your plan, but can you talk about that a little bit? Do you have any concern with putting in the, what is it required, 5-foot type A, yeah.
Yeah, no concern. I think we submitted this site plan, and since then I've been working with Burrell Engineering for the civil engineering
Right.
work, and they've addressed, they will address all
It looks
that.
like you have room. There is an easement there too, so it'd be about 15 feet, but looking at the scale, we're just probably pressing up against the DRA. I think there's room. I just wanted to confirm you had no qualms
Yeah,
on
no, that
that.
would be a problem.
Okay, great. Well, I wish you would have been here years ago when I did the trek to Tampa as well. So, positive project. Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
I
Thank-
have a question.
Yes, Commissioner Stone.
Would this facility be used as part of like an intramural league play facility? The reason I ask this is because, you know, if you're just providing recreation for the area, whoever may show up, is one thing. But if you have programs as part of a league running constantly, then you're talking about a whole different level of traffic. Okay, so that's my question.
Yeah, I mean, as far as just kind of looking at how, because they were, like I said, just down the road, they were in a church, and they had leagues that would have practices some during the week, and then most of the games were on Saturday. And then a couple nights a week they would have like open gym. But yeah, that answers your question.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. If we could have our presentation from staff, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
My presentation is going to be much drier. I'm sorry about that. Atlas Amendment 2205 is a request to change the designation of 2 lots from medical to recreational on the Citrus Springs Master Plan. This is an aerial view of the 2 properties. They are located at the corner of North Deltona Boulevard and West Country Club Boulevard. They total approximately 3.09 acres. They are currently vacant, as are the surrounding lots as well. This is looking at the corner parcel along North Deltona Boulevard, and these are both lots along West Country Club Boulevard. This is a portion of the Citrus Springs Master Plan. The subject properties are outlined in blue, and the brown parcels are designated medical. Surrounding that are medical, school, church, multifamily, and single-family designations. The white, yellow, and light pink are, and most of the light pink are single-family, and the peach color is multifamily. The large pink rectangle is school, and the smaller 2 pink rectangles are church. This is the site plan that was submitted by the applicant. She has expressed the desire to construct a 19,200 square foot indoor recreation facility. She's already addressed that she has no objection to providing that 5-foot type A buffer on the south property line, and all other LDC standards are being met. The lots are currently designated a non-residential use, and most of the surrounding lots are also designated non-residential use. So establishing this indoor recreation facility would be compatible with those non-residential uses, and also, as mentioned, current residential lots and residential lots here to be developed could benefit from this use. The application is consistent with a comprehensive plan, meets LDC standards with the one exception that will be addressed, and is compatible with the surrounding area. Thank you. Oh, also, I have some proposed conditions to read if you would like right now or at some point. They came about after pause. I apologize.
Let's ask our questions first. If we have any, then you can read the
Absolutely.
conditions. Okay. Any questions from commissioners?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
The loading zones, the site plan proposes only 1 loading zone area, and they would have to demonstrate the 2 at the time of permitting. This use, I mean, I don't know if 2 loading zones are appropriate.
Agreed that it would not necessarily be appropriate.
Yeah, our land development code has a provision that if the applicant demonstrates at permitting they don't need a loading zone, they're not going to get semi-deliveries, then we do waive that requirement.
Okay.
So we talked about LDC, but there are options already in the code to get out of that.
All right, good. My other question was just about the conditions.
Any other comments? In your report, it states that the applicant's site plan indicates that central water is available and connection to central sewer is not available. But then the application notes that there is an existing 4-inch force main at the northeast corner of West Country Club Boulevard and North Deltona Boulevard. But he's also proposing an on-site sewage disposal system. With sewer being that close, I think that we should have him connect to the sewer system. I mean, the county is going through a big program to reduce septic system uses, and I think here's a chance for us to not introduce a new septic system. I don't know if there was any conversations regarding that with the applicant.
Not with the applicant. I did discuss that with utilities.
Yep.
And they just informed me that sewer was not available for that site.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, if you'd like to let us know the conditions, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Number 1, the Citrus Springs Unit 4 planned unit development is modified to change the medical designation to recreational designation on lots 3 and 4, block 369, to allow for an indoor recreational facility as generally outlined in the site plan and application date stamp received August 16th, 2022 by the Land Development Division. A 5-foot type A landscape buffer will be required. All other standards within the Citrus Springs Master Plan and the LDC shall be met unless specifically outlined within these conditions. Where standards are not specified herein, the Citrus County Land Development Code standards or current code standards will apply. Minor modifications to this master plan of development may be approved by the Director of the Land Development Division as outlined within Section 4304 of the LDC.
And just to clarify the first condition, the 5-foot type A buffer would be added along the south property line. They have other buffers that are required. Some are larger.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The public portion of the meeting will now be open. If there is anyone present in favor of the application who would like to speak, please come forward to the podium. As a reminder, individuals have 3 minutes to speak and organizations have 5 minutes. When speaking on this application, please address the board. If you have any documentation that you wish to be entered into the record, please provide a copy to the recording secretary. Hand it to the young lady there. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel McKay. I live in Citrus Springs on West Negelia Place. I've been in the community for a decade. Also grew up in Citrus County. I went to Inverness when I was a child. I chose to come back here to raise my children. I love this community. I think it's a great place to grow up. That being said, I want to speak about the need in this community for youth sports as a whole. I was a member of the Central Citrus Little League Board of Directors for 5 years. I've been involved in youth sports in this area for a long time. My children, all 3 of them, have been in a varied number of sports. My daughter is a softball player. My sons have been football players and basketball players, and tried just about every sport there is, soccer, everything. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that youth sports is like a pyramid. You build from the bottom up. You have to have a strong base, which is the youngest of the kids in the area. It's the elementary school students. It's not necessarily the kids that are going to get headlines going off to play in a college someday, which, don't get me wrong, that's incredible, but you don't get there right away. You have to start somewhere. I heard somebody on the board ask about youth sports and a youth league with this group, and that's how I first came to be with them. My children started playing with them as a recreational league for basketball. That league grew. That league grew because the gentleman running it and the people involved in it all came together to create something special for the kids in the environment and the community of Citrus Springs and Citrus County as a whole. They currently don't have a home for a league like that, and a building like this would pave the way for that. You're talking about dozens, if not hundreds of kids having a place to go to play recreational sports. That is what feeds into kids who develop skills and abilities to become members of a travel ball organization. Right now, there's no facility like this in Citrus County for our kids to go to. We have to travel with them. We have to leave the community and leave the area to do that. Having something like this in our community, to me, would be a huge, huge benefit to the kids, to the families that have to bring them there. And if they open this building up and allow outside stuff to come in, along with the youth sports, you're talking about what could develop into a community area that is more than just a place for kids to go and play basketball and volleyball or have athletic workouts and do training. It becomes something larger than that. But it starts here with you guys saying, yes, we want something like that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application?
Good morning. My name is Vicki Humphrey. I'm a partner at a local CPA firm. I've been there for 30 years, and it's located at 3600 East Gulf to Lake Highway. I'm also the treasurer of Citrus Fusion Volleyball Club. We have been in existence for several years. My executive director is Wanda. She's back there. But in the last 2 years, we have doubled in size into the number of kids that we are trying to have play volleyball. We have started a boys program, and we simply do not have the space to do much more. Even this year, we just had tryouts, and we are over 100 kids in all the different, not in all different, but total for the different age groups. We start from 6-year-olds to 18-year-olds. Right now, we have incredible difficulty just simply having practice. We cannot even consider holding a tournament. Just like the prior person, he said, tournaments we take out of county every single week. We're losing all of that every year. We could be holding them here with a facility like this. I have actually approached the city about 4 years ago about if they would be interested, the city of Inverness, if they'd be interested in building a facility, because from an economic point of view, I feel like this is more of a governmental project just for the being able to maintain it. But here we have citizens willing to take this project on, and it's such a need. Currently, the only hard court gyms that we are able to use at all, that the public is able to use, belong to either the school system or church. We do not have anything, even as a public citizen, to simply go in and rent floor space for practice or having any kind of game. So in regards to this request, we strongly encourage you that if this piece of property even comes close to being useful for what you see and what we see, I strongly encourage you, if you possibly can, approve this request. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor?
Good morning. My name is Tracy Bryson. I'm a local business owner around the corner, Gulf to Lake Marine, here in Lecanto. I'm a community volunteer, and I think I'm the only person in the room not from Citrus County. But more importantly for this morning, I am the parent of a former travel volleyball player. I've known Amy Barbieri for over 10 years. We have served side by side on the Citrus County Education Board. I can attest to her integrity, her intentions, her passion for the youth of Citrus County. During that same 10 years that I've known Amy, and with my 2 children traveling for soccer and volleyball, I have seen way too many families, I'm echoing other people, but way too many families taking their time, their talent, their resources out of this county in 3 directions. This can all be staying here. A vote to change this from medical to recreational is a vote for the youth of Citrus County. This facility, in my opinion, is way overdue for this county and the size. This could really be a home away from home for some of these kids, thinking into the future. My years of traveling to these other communities, especially with volleyball indoor facilities, Ocala, Jacksonville, Orlando. When you walk into those, it's a lot of work for the parents and the boards of those organizations, but when you walk into those buildings, there is a palpable sense of pride, of it's all positive. And when that club is bringing home trophies from around the state, maybe even national tournaments, there's a permanent place to put those trophies up on the wall. And there's just a sense of community and pride. And Amy and the people she is working with, they are some of the best at getting the community involved and making really good things happen. And I guess just in closing, again, echoing, once these student athletes go off, graduate, go to college, this home away from home and those feelings that they had from this four-walled building, if you say a yes vote today, though that could be the factor of a kid coming back home to Citrus County later in life when they are starting or continuing their career and maybe raising their own little student athletes right here in Citrus County. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor?
Morning, my name is John Woods. I'm on the board of directors of the Citrus Springs Civic Association. I'm also the chairman of the Architectural Review Board there and the Deed Restriction Committee there. I met with the board. We're 100% in support of this facility as we believe it would add value to the community, give our youth something to do, and might even possibly bring other businesses in the area. So does anybody have any questions for me?
No.
Nope.
No? Okay. So like I said, we're 100% in support of it.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor?
Hi, my name is Sara Burdette. I'm a community member here in Citrus County, Executive Director of the Citrus County Education Foundation. Looking around the room at the board, there are some of us who raised our children together and trekked those days down to Tampa and made sure our children had the ability to play some of those additional sports. But more than that, we created a family. We created a family of young men and women who stay together and to this day are still together. In their early 30s, as we approach that, I know, right? I just let it out. Those young men are still together, taking care of each other, which all started here in Citrus County playing sports. The other element of this piece, the families that you have involved, the Velardi family, the Barbari families, are truly cornerstone families, making sure our youth have positive resources with them each and every day. They are truly trailblazers in making sure as our growth happens, as our youth numbers continue to grow, that there is a place for these children to receive all of the care that they need as far as interaction with our community and families and those lifelong skills that they get from playing sports. I would also like to comment too that when thinking and making this decision, also think of that mental health aspect that is really, truly on the minds of everyone in Citrus County when dealing with the youth. This is an ability to bring students and families together, have that camaraderie, build that family, but also keep those children off the streets, keep them safe, and keep them with surrounding adults who truly care about their future. As Ms. Bryson discussed, having those students come back to Citrus County and continuing to make this beautiful place successful is truly just a win-win for all of us. So I would ask that you consider a yes vote on this matter. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor?
Hello, my name's Lou Carello. I live at 2004 West Blackhawk Place in Citrus Springs. I'm a widow and a mother of a 14-year-old son. When we first moved here 4.5 years ago, my son had little confidence in himself, only 2 friends, and no male mentors here for him, only me. One of Aiden's friends told him about the BLA, which is Beyond Limits Athletics, and Mr. Thomas Velardi, and the goals they had for the boys and girls interested in playing basketball. I then signed my son up for basketball training. We were so happy to find a safe place and a great place for him to go. He has built up his confidence and improved in his schooling and dreams of becoming a college basketball player in the future. BLA is a place where children can go and develop life skills through hard work, teamwork, and with good leadership that holds them accountable for good grades. I believe that this building will help make children from early age to adulthood great citizens. And I am asking for your help to let this building be built on this land for the future of our children of Citrus County and more. Thank you for your time and for listening.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor?
Hello, I am Tristan Lorth of Lecanto, Florida, and I live in Hernando. I attend Lecanto High School, and I am in favor of building the gym because this will help bring our community together and create strong bonds between young adults and adults. This gym will help improve many lives by helping them improve as student athletes and students, becoming better men and women under the guidance of Thomas Velardi, who I know from experience has helped me in life because when I first joined BLA, my father passed away, and Thomas never hesitated to take me under his guidance and mentor me to become the man that I am today. And this is why Thomas and our community deserve this gym. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application?
Hello, I'm Logan Barbieri, and I live in Inverness, Florida. I'm in favor of building this gym because we have nowhere to play sports like this, and over the summer when it's either 98 degrees outside or pouring rain, we have nowhere inside to play. We also need access to training and stuff like that are indoors and where there's no chances of getting rained out of practices. It also gives Coach Thomas a place to train kids and gives him more tools to do that. Overall, the gym would be good for this county and would help fix a hole in the sports community that's been gone since the Citrus Springs gym closed. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application?
Hi, I'm Mason Trudeau. I live in Hernando, Florida, and I'm in favor of building this gym because during the summer, instead of kids, they can go to the gym and they can stay out of trouble and they'll have a place to improve and get better at the sport that they love. And it will also allow Coach Thomas to be able to train kids, and it can help them improve and just get better at the sport. It's just a space where everyone can bond with each other and we can build as a community and just have somewhere to play sports. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor?
Hello, my name is JT Quinn, and I live in Homosassa, Florida. I'm in favor of building this gym because of the opportunities it can give youth athletes in this county. I know in my experience, when I first started, we didn't think it would really turn into anything, great, but it ended up. I ended up getting to be a part of a nationally ranked AAU team, and it also has helped me build great bonds and make a lot of friends over the years, and I think that can be very useful for youth athletes coming up and can help them reach their full potential, not only as athletes, but as people in general. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? If there's anyone present opposed to this application who would like to speak, please come forward to the podium. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone in opposition? Anyone in opposition? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion of this meeting and return it to the board for comments and possible actions.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I would just like to say thank you to Coach Velardi and Miss Barbieri for putting this project together. There is no doubt that this is something that is a tremendous need in our community. And Miss Humphreys, to address you, you mentioned the government, having a sports complex or something of that nature. And that's been a conversation for a very long time, what the benefits to our community would be if we were to invest in something like that. But it's really amazing to see private citizens stepping up to fill the need. I want to thank everybody who came out today to speak in favor of this application. I'm also in favor. And with that, I'd like to make a motion that the Planning and Development Commission finds application number AA-22-05 consistent with the Citrus County Comprehensive Plan and Citrus County Land Development Code, and that this board recommends approval with conditions of the application to the Board of County Commissioners based upon the evidence and testimony presented and the staff report and conclusions regarding this petition.
Second.
Okay, we have a first from Commissioner Worthington and a second from Commissioner Facemeyer. Any additional comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I know the school board doesn't necessarily weigh in on these kind of things, but I can attest to the need in Citrus Springs. That's the highest growth part of the county. And we only have one school up there that has a gymnasium. We have 3, but no elementary school has a gym. And there's a high demand for the one that's up there. And I anticipate that there's going to be a need for more sports facilities. The YMCA is currently looking at a gym down in Beverly Hills area, but I think it's a few years away. But I think this is a project that's really needed.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Just echoing the comments of the public. I also have children that have attended the BLA. They continue to attend and will, and I can tell you that it's a well-run organization. The message is always very good. The events held are very well attended, and this would be nothing but an asset to the community. I would definitely like to see this. I'm in favor of it, and I'm pretty sure there'll be more coming along in the future.
Any other comments? Any other comments? I will echo everyone else's comments. I think this is a great project. I think it's going to be good for the youth as well as the county in total. As with that, we have a first by Commissioner Worthington, a second by Commissioner Facemeyer. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much for your time.
And just to remind the public, this is a recommendation, so this will have to go to the county commission for one more hearing.
Okay. Any further comments from staff?
Here November 17th, you have 3 applications. Y'all have been really good on telling Ms. Burton when you're not going to be here. I really appreciate that. December 1st, you have the Cardinal Farms application, which is a large project on Cardinal. That'll be our first one in the interchange management area, so that's a big deal. Speaking of the interchange management areas, they've had been postponed several times by the commission, one from a hurricane, one from a canceled meeting. Finally, are going to have a workshop before the commission coming up this coming Monday. So that's coming Mondays. It's the 7th, whenever, yeah. Anticipated to come back before y'all in January. Everything got pushed back because a lot of things were delayed, not trying to stop that project in any way. December 15th, I've talked about that a few times with you. We have 3 PUDs and a large land use change on that particular meeting, and then you can have your holidays. We've already fully booked up your first one in January. I think there's 6 on that, so no rest.
No rest for the weary. Thank you very much for keeping us busy. With that, the meeting is adjourned.